Hello, friends. Happy Thursday.
Hello.
Hello.
This is a long-awaited return. I don't know that there's a return awaited longer than the beloved Jason Davis to this podcast here.
Many people have been waiting for this, talking about it.
The hype's been unreal, like just astronomical. You wouldn't know from not being retired from posting, but boy, you're just blowing up. It's like you're basically, which one do you want to be, Taylor or Travis? I broke like Jason
Taylor
already.
Swift?
This is great.
What?
Yes, that's how high the hype is for this. Yes, one of us is Taylor, one of us is Travis. That's how much the hype there is about us getting back together. Yeah.
I listen to a lot of Taylor.
That's cool. You can take Taylor as the person sitting in Philadelphia, very close to her hometown. That's fine. Super cool. Yeah.
You're not bitter. Yeah.
Jake, do you understand this reference yet?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I finally had the memes caught up.
Taylor?
I'll put it that way.
Memes
you don't have to waste time on. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hot takes coming out.
I'm in my late. I'm in my late 30s, which means the memes come to me on Instagram a week after they hit TikTok. So it just takes a little time for me to catch up.
Oh, well. Speaking of catching up, Jake, let's catch up to the rundown of this show. What did you bring to drink today? Man who's very choppy right now. This is going to be great. What'd you bring?
Yeah, sorry guys, we're a little. I don't know if it's a Starlink issue right now, but it's a little wonky. But it's Oktoberfest here, so I had to get a beer. Obviously, it's Oktoberfest everywhere, I assume.
Yeah.
But there's
weird
also beer stuff
gatekeeping.
happening
That's fine
here.
though.
So this is yeah. Well, I guess what I mean by that is that they do it here. They like have a big thing about that here in the Yucatan Peninsula. For some reason, it's a big deal. So. I got a Petito Belgian Blonde. So,
Jason,
I'm open
is it
to
Oktoberfest in Tucson? Are you still in Tucson? This looks like the same office the last time I talked to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Still here. Still very hot. Actually, it's cooling down. It feels like October here. I also did an Oktoberfest. This is a non-alcoholic beer, actually, because I have been sober for a couple years. So. I love non-alcoholic beer though, so yeah, this is the good stuff. This is good stuff. Cracker. It's from Athletic Brewing. It's just Oktoberfest.
I've heard that the non-alcoholic beers are getting like really, really good now.
Up in the game, they're just bringing.
They are. Yeah, there's one company in particular, Athletic. They're somewhere in the Northeast U.S. Forget where. But they're like a cut above the rest of them. Like, they've gone a long way from like O'Doul's and, cheap, crappy, non-alcoholic beer. So yeah, tastes like the real thing.
I've definitely seen it around here.
Cool.
Yeah. Have to check it out. Well, I don't have that though. I have the old beloved stick wine, Jake. I think we've had the stick wine before. The Zaccagnini. It's got this little stick on it, so we call it the stick wine. It's just a nice, cheap red wine. Yeah, I got my Philly fanatic in the background here. So things are really keyed up.
At least it's in a bottle this time.
That's true. The vessel is more respectable. But listen, I haven't been putting a lot of time in.
Before.
Oh, I had a whole box here, at least a couple times. Yeah, Boda box, I think, black box, one of those. You get it's a lot of wine in those boxes. Yeah. They jam it full with like more than you could imagine fitting. Yeah, corner to corner. It's like Wendy's for wine, though. That's basically what they're.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that bit won't get better than that. So, I have Jason. I brought a surprise today. Jake doesn't know about this. I've been working on a new project for the last few days. And what I mean is I did this while eating lunch today because I thought of it the other day and forgot to do it last night, and I did it at lunch today. We had this issue this week on the ISS. The backup radiator started leaking. Here we go again with the leaks. So I purchased a domain called crewdanger.com just to keep up with if the crew is in danger. And so this is a project that I think a lot of us can contribute to over time. I'm going to just I did a couple of Google searches already to just find the phrase, the crew was never in any danger, across all NASA press releases that have ever been. And I've only put 6 on here so far. But what I'm thinking is we can just collect all the times the crew was never in any danger and highlight exactly how they were never in danger. So my favorite one so far was the Nauka ISS backflip, in which, if you look in this story here, this one really upgraded it. The crew was never and is not in any danger at the time of that post. That one took it to the next level. So crewdanger.com, the new resource. Jake, how do you feel about this project? Is this an official Off-Nominal product or what?
This is amazing. Yes, this is incredible. Because it's every time. It's like clockwork. The crew's never in danger. I mean, they're in some danger. They're
always in danger. That's the thing, right? Like they're in a space station. Yeah.
When things go wrong, they're even in a little more danger. But no.
The baseline of danger when you're on the ISS is significantly higher than most things that people do in their life.
Yeah.
So
they are significantly more dangerous right now than me.
By a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I thought I pulled a couple of the recent ones I could find on Google. It sucks because the last I could see in the Google results that there were a few, like this phrase has been around for a long time. This phrase, the crew was never in any danger, worded like that, has been around since somewhere in the shuttle program. Because there are Google results for some of the late shuttle flights and spacewalks or something else. But those pages don't exist. I don't know if that's because the NASA.gov is getting redesigned and they broke those links or what. But I don't know. I felt like I was doing a little NASA history. Maybe I should approach the history office.
Ooh. You can file a FOIA request.
Yeah, all the crew danger.
Yeah. Maybe you could, with that, well, I don't know how long they archive, if this has been since the shuttle days, anyway, to try to find the seminal discussion at NASA on how they should phrase that the crew is not in danger.
Find if there's an Apollo 13 initial meeting of we should clarify they're not in any danger because now they're huddled up in the lunar module and they're on the way home, right?
Half frozen to death and they're not in any danger.
Yeah. This one drives me nuts. I think this might be the phrase that has jumped above space is hard for me, as in terms of my power ranking of phrases I hate in spaceflight.
Yeah,
it's good.
Space is hard. The crew is never in danger.
Yeah. What are the other ones? It's
Space
probably a good one about safe mode, right? Like when safe mode clicks in and they're like, everything's fine. Like the spacecraft's in a stable configuration. There's probably something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spacecraft was never in any danger. Could be one too when they go into safe mode. Yeah. Not sure if they use it there too.
Well, I bought one domain. We can expand it out. Yeah, we could do a roboticdanger.com or something. That probably would.
And then
go,
look up you look up all the press releases for that thing that say that, and then the probe subsequently was dead. You'd have some data to back it up.
Yeah.
The thing I hate about this phrase, to belabor this point a little bit, is that the things that this phrase is used about, when they're in the middle of these scenarios, they're never not stressed. They don't know at that point that the crew is not in danger. They are reacting as if the crew is in imminent danger. If they get a fire alarm a lot of these were about faulty fire alarms on the space station. At the time it went off, you didn't know that. You thought the crew's in danger, and you reacted as if you are in danger. And then they later say the crew was never in any danger. And it's like, what? You only now know that. And that's the thing that drives me nuts about it.
I mean, I'm alive today, so I've never been in danger, really, if you think.
Yeah, it's turned out great every time.
Every time. 100% success rate on life for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never died, so.
That's another good.
I'm a
I
danger
actually,
side.
that is a phrase I like. Whenever you read a United Launch Alliance press release involving Atlas V, it's like Atlas V, which has 100% success rate. It always they always squeeze that little fact in there.
And they fudged the like was it the they started the streak of successful launches from like the merger day so that it excluded certain failures that happened before the merger.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because if they just
Big
rebranded, if they were like, our
embarrassing
name's
ones
now,
and
Vulcan Launch Services, they'd be like, Vulcan Launch Services has a 100% success rate after the second or third
100%.
launch of Vulcan when it finally works right. That's what they should do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Jake,
Oh wow.
we had some planetary
amazing.
stuff.
Thank you for
I'm
me.
curious to pick your brains on.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a little newsy thing for planetary. It's been fun. Lots of asteroid stuff. That's why we wanted to get Jason on. So, where do you want to start? You want to do, I guess, OREX? We didn't get a Psyche launch this morning, so maybe we'll talk about Osiris-Rex first. And they're pretty stoked about it, I guess. Anthony, you told me you had some questions.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I just had so I watched this event yesterday, the Unveil, which was, I thought for these kind of events they did a really good job. They usually struggle towing the line of like, we invited a ton of middle schoolers and the media, and it always feels lopsided one way or the other. And I thought this one was a good. Maybe it's just the Osiris-Rex team is really good at communicating, which they seem to be throughout. But I felt like it was the best one I've seen of these. So I'm gonna just give some props to NASA on it.
Nice. Shout out to NASA.
Yeah, and having the administrator there, that always, you never know how that's going to go.
Well,
it seemed to go well. So.
And that's the question I was actually going to end with, which is, who had on their bingo card for unveiling asteroid material, Bill Nelson shouts out the haters of the asteroid redirect mission at the very end of the meeting, or the press event. Did anyone watch this long into this event and catch?
I don't think I got that.
The last 5
Can you
minutes.
explain?
Yes, the last 5 minutes of this event, he pauses. I forget who was talking at the time. It was Lori Glaze was up there, right? I think. And he says, "Oh, may I say like an additional thing?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And he tells the middle school kids, like, "Listen, 10 years ago there was a lot of haters about going to an asteroid. And look at us now. Like, we've got this asteroid. Never stop believing in what you're doing." And he was just straight up, like, randomly shouting out asteroid redirect mission haters, bringing up the space policy discussion of, 10 or 15 years ago as if it was relevant to Osiris-Rex. And I found this a hilarious diversion at the end. Like, he's been stuck on this for this long, and this was the moment he wanted to, like, drop the mic on him. It was amazing. It was amazing.
That's a
really
great nugget. Yeah.
It's not like the asteroid redirect mission was like in any way related to what this is doing. Like, it was completely different thing altogether.
Completely different. Yeah. This is no connection at all, or if there was, it was very tenuous. Yeah.
It was astounding. Like,
great.
I would highly recommend reviewing it, and then. On that note, maybe we can have maybe we should have softened our position on the asteroid redirect mission. Jason, is Bill Nelson right that we were hating too much on it, and we should be nicer to it?
I mean, did anyone like the asteroid redirect mission? Like, who thought that was a good idea?
No one did. It was a compromise, right?
Yeah. It was like, try to find a mission for SLS and Orion to touch an asteroid because Obama said the word asteroid. I mean, it was all very confusing from the start, and not surprising that it eventually went away.
Well,
I mean, some of the visuals from that thing, thinking back of like those giant nets and giant balloons they were using to grab an asteroid, and just like, I don't know who thought that was really going to be feasible, but Bill Nelson.
Well, if you cancel the moon program and you're not allowed to go to Mars anymore, there's not much left to do with Orion in 2012 or whenever that happened. So,
is this the thing that you're talking about?
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that one looks slightly more slick. You know, there's one that just really looks like just a bag, like, you know, you're just throwing out a target bag of space to grab some material, bring it back to the moon.
I mean, the best thing that we got out of the Asteroid Redirect mission was the Kerbal Space Program DLC, right? That was the best legacy of that program, I would say.
Yes.
There was a DLC specifically for Asteroid Redirect?
It was tied right into the mission. It was like the official Asteroid Redirect mission DLC. Is this the thing you're talking about, Jason?
The grabber tool.
Is this tractor beam thing the one you're talking about?
Let's see. Yeah, that one looks a little more like what? How big is that supposed to be?
And how did it get that big in space?
Yeah, it's got like, when have we, you know, deployable structures, what have we done? Like, we can do like big solar panels, and we've done some solar sails. What? But I mean, a giant bag like that, it's like, I don't know, half a mile across. That seems like a stretch.
NASA working with the NRO on half a mile deployables.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice little nugget at the end of that. The middle schoolers had to be like, I don't know. I would love to talk to somebody that was there from school if they were inspired by the like F your haters ending that Bill Nelson applied to this, because it was really incredible. Yeah. Anyway, science-wise, anyone have any thoughts on the sample stuff that they showed, as admittedly quick as it was?
It's cool to see it. Like good photos of it, you know, like the shots we've seen from space were all pretty, you know, blurry or far away or whatever. So this is like nice to see some like crisp up front, kind of like that really carbony black color that they have. That coal color is pretty cool. I think it's pretty. I don't know. I'm excited to see the actual bit. Yeah. So I don't know. There's not much to do in the science. I guess they like just look at it, right?
They're like, yep, hydrated minerals and carbon, and that's what we expected pretty much. Yeah. So like, yeah, okay. but I'm sure, you know, they haven't. I think all they've done is just came from like the material on the lid or something like that. I don't even know how deep they've analyzed some of it yet. So.
Well, they haven't opened it, right? Like they took the top off, and then there's all the stuff on top. They got to like really meticulously like get all the junk stuff that fell through the cracks and label it all and get it in bags and stuff before you like take the thing off and spill it everywhere, right? That's not.
Yeah. I remember that wild picture right after they captured it, where there's just material leaking all around it, or all around the tag SAM arm. Pretty cool.
And now they're like, that's the highest priority thing in the world, is like, do not drop any of that dust on the floor. When you're talking about categorizing though, Jake, like how each particle doesn't get in its own bag, right? Is it like, this stuff looks like the same piece? Should I put it in that? How do you decide how to divide it up?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Like, I mean, I'm thinking about it from a collection standpoint, and they don't really have that precise of a context for like where on the asteroid. Like all the sample comes from like that one point. That's like all you can really be specific about. It's not like you can say like this side of the tag SAM or that side of the tag. Like you can't do that like precise of a geolocating on its location or anything. And I don't know if it would matter even if you could. So I don't think they can like categorize it, but they do have to split it up into pieces, share, and then I don't know if there's like a grain size thing. Sometimes they do grain size stuff, like, okay, here's all the ones that are this size, here's all the ones that are small, here's all the dust or something like that, right? I don't know. They said it's going to take 2 years, so that might tell you how precise they have to be.
Oh my god, that sounds like hell. Just standing there with those gloves, like, oh my god, going through piece by piece. I don't even have patience for like a 1,000 piece puzzle, alone material from an asteroid. And what are they supposed
to be like a couple hundred grams, right? So that's like that's like, a small potato worth of this stuff, right? And it's gonna be like literally like that one small potato is probably about that size, and so you got that much sample you need to go through for 2 years. That's a lot of stuff.
Jason's gone. Hopefully he comes back. I don't know what happened to him. It's so explanatory that your couple 100 grams reference point was a small potato. That's the thing that you thought of that was a couple 100 grams is incredible. Like,
I just had
heard coffee cup at some point.
Coffee cup would be the one to go with because it's like a thing that's generally it's common to have heard people talk about coffee in grams. I never would like, oh, I wonder how heavy that potato is. You just hold it and you're like, this feels about right for how much potato I need for this. So
look, I just had Thanksgiving. I made some potatoes. It's fresh in my mind. Okay.
That's true. Yeah, I always forget about your schedule.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm excited. It's gonna be great to see this stuff, work because there's some good science to pull out of this. I'm pretty sure, and can't wait to see what they do with it. They're obviously very excited. The scientists were like so jazzed, so that's really good to see, right?
Yeah. So can they, Jake? Maybe you can answer this. Are they able to like do the isotopic like investigation of the material and determine like, okay, this is a match for Earth's water, or is that like not possible? Do you know?
I don't know. That's you're above my pay grade on that one. I don't know how you figure that out, but
yeah.
Like you could, and there's probably something to do with like the isotopes of carbon. Like it's almost like carbon dating. You can't actually carbon date it because carbon dating is based on Earth's whatever, like its position in the solar system and the irradiation it gets and stuff. But you could probably do something with the carbon to figure out some sort of trace origin of it or something. But I don't know. I am not good at that stuff. That's an astrobio job, and we're gonna let them figure that one out.
Jason sounds like a lobbyist for like the bottled water industry right now. Like, am I gonna be able to tell that I could use this as a new marketing piece here? Who do you work for?
Drinking asteroid water.
Who are you? Are you a like a Fiji water, Evian? What are you working with out there?
All the big ones. I get paid so much. Can't even say.
The ones that are all the same bottling company but gets rebranded like Poland Spring or Arrowhead or whatever because it's all the same bottles.
Yeah. And in the corner, there's just somebody turning on the tap, to fill them up. Pass them on.
It's Asteroid water right there. That's fresh off of Bennu.
It's Asteroid water.
One of the kids in the event did ask, where did Bennu come from? And the people on stage were completely flummoxed to how to answer that question because they were like, I mean, you just nailed why we did the mission, so that's great that you're on the same beat as us. Like, I don't know, I was expecting one of them to be like, same place everywhere everything else did, and then totally undermine the reason for going to find out about it. Like, it came from everything else.
Okay. Oh, wow.
When two asteroids love each other very much, and smash into each other, they form a new asteroid.
It's like pretty accurate. Yeah. But what if Psyche hit it? If Psyche really metallic? Jason, a couple weeks ago, we were discussing how heading into Psyche, after the experiences that we had at Bennu and Ryugu over the last couple years, do you think some members on the Psyche team were like, like how confident are we in the whole metallic thing at this point that these two asteroids are just super squishy and weird and strange shape? Do you think any of them had reservations about continuing to pump we're going to basically see a solid piece of metal when we get there?
I would imagine yes, even if they're not saying so. It's crossed my mind. I'm like, what if we get there and it's just really boring asteroid? And I think they revised down the estimate of the metal content was 40 to 60% maybe. So yeah, I think that I would be slightly nervous if I was on the Psyche team, but they know better than me.
What if it's like just like a big dense metal ball in the middle surrounded by really fluffy like debris and you can never ever get to the metal? That's gonna be a
like it's right there. It's just the core is like maybe 10 meters beneath the surface. We can't get to it. Yeah.
That'd be a bummer.
I don't know. I've gotten so used to looking at their asteroid concept, artist concept, that I'm just in my mind. I'm like, well, yeah, part of it's going to have the core exposed. There's going to be metal spires sticking up off the side, and it's going to be great. Yeah.
I've been wondering about the whole concept of doing the artist concept. Makes a lot of sense when you're trying to communicate the exoplanet stuff, where we're like nowhere close to being able to image this thing, but putting so many high fidelity concepts out about the asteroid you're about to fly right next to felt like a weird move overall. I don't know. Because then think about the Google image results in the years ahead when we actually have pictures of it, and half of them are a drawing of it that probably will look nothing like it.
Yeah. I mean, that's
what I'm trying to think of
risk, right?
Other missions. Yeah.
Do we have like a penny concept art before we went here?
I think it was close, but they might have had really good shape models of it from radar and stuff like that, to where they were very confident in what it would probably look like. But I don't remember what the artist concept looked like.
I'll pull it up because I was just looking at it. Everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
I mean, it's pretty, I don't know. That's pretty.
I think it was pretty close.
That's pretty detailed, Oh wait, you're talking about the concepts for other ones, Bennu and stuff that we've been to?
Yeah, because Bennu we can compare.
Yeah.
Sorry, I logged my brain out for a second because I was trying to find. Shortly after we talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago, Jake, I saw the next day there was a news story about the latest round of radar imaging that they did on Psyche, and there were a couple of hints of the shape of it in there, and I was like, oh, I wonder if we shook someone loose and post this blog post, but really they just already had it queued up to come out right around launch.
Oh yeah. Gotta do the search by time on here though. That's gonna be the tough part. Anytime. That's not gonna work. Yeah, I don't know.
But the service was
really
really smooth in all the concepts.
Yeah, it was more rubbly, right? That was the big thing. I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of the bet you make, right? It's like it's the asteroid community's prediction bot, they make a little guess of what it's going to look like. They log it down, and then they wait a few years to find out what happened and see how close they were, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, you get props either way because you go man, all the research we did leading up to this launch, look how good we are at. We knew about this thing before we got there, or you go, this is why we got to keep flying to these places and explore, because what we can tell from the ground is nothing like what we find. So you can definitely get a win out of it either direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of pomp around Falcon Heavy being the thing that's going to ride on, but it was in the lead up to. But now I feel like there's not that much pomp about it on the verge of the launch.
Yeah, well, that's because now it's a spooky October Friday the 13th launch before a solar eclipse. This thing is going to be like touching every chord of superstition that you can imagine right now.
That's pretty solid. I didn't think about all those things.
like shook out by bad weather today. Oh yeah, real likely. I think that's just it's just like a Saturnalia curse or something,
Oh yeah.
I didn't really think about the solar eclipse aspect, but this is like we were just talking about right before the show, Jake, in our newfangled pre-show segment that we were doing on Discord, which we should plug. That we're gonna hang out before the show every week on Discord while we get our stuff in order. We were talking about how planning any event on the same day as a solar eclipse is a really you're making your way down the workflow of starting a cult, Like you're halfway there at that point. Just takes a couple other adjustments to your plan for the day, and you're there. You know, annular maybe a little less than total, but
yeah.
Are either of you going to see the annular? No,
yeah, I'm going.
I don't mean to interrupt a good bit.
No, it's good. I'm going tomorrow, so yeah, I'm going to leave tomorrow to go because it passes down through Yucatan, so I get to drive about 2 hours south to Campeche, and I'll be able to see it there. So I'm going to spend the weekend there. It's going to be fun. You're pretty close too, aren't you, Jason? You don't have to drive a few hours at least, but
it's like 8. So I'm not going to actually. I don't know
if it was a total, you'd put in the effort, but annular, you're like,
If it was a total, yes. And I'm going to see the total, and we're going to Texas for that one. But yeah, the annual, it's like you go up to Four Corners where like Arizona, Mexico, and whatever the other states are, Utah.
Shout out to the corner states.
It's like an 8-hour drive, and I'm like, shout out to whoever.
Shout out to the other one, the one that's probably the most populated. Yes.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of. No, it can't be Colorado.
No, it's Colorado.
That's further north. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. But I'm going to try, I'll still watch it here. It'll be like a crescent here, so that's cool.
That's good enough for annular, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I guess the ring's cool. People really love that, though, huh?
I'm curious to see how different it is. Like, I don't really know what to expect with it because, obviously it's not as good as a total, but still feels like it'd be a pretty cool thing. And it's still going to have some of the other effects, right? Like, like the lighting dim and all that kind of thing, right? So.
What's the percentage of coverage? I haven't looked into this a lot because it was not relevant to my life at the moment. I mean, it's a lot. It's most of the way, right? 90-something?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to pull up the thing here. But, I mean, isn't it got to be like pretty close to like 90-something, right?
High 90s. Yeah.
High 90s, isn't it?
Could be high 90s.
I know that's...
I'm trying to find it. Yeah.
Because, I mean, the one of the cool parts of the actual total experience is that the time right before and right after totality, you get the weird, like, the bugs don't know what's going on, so they just start chirping, and the birds are going nuts because it's like, I guess it's nighttime now, like, get your shit in order because we're going to bed. Like, everything freaks out for those couple minutes. So if it's a really long version of that, that's also kind of interesting. So that's actually one of the reasons I would never want to see one of these on a plane. I know people like going flying with the shadow, but I feel like the Earth effects are too cool to miss.
Yeah. So it's 90.6% where I am. So not high 90s, low 90s.
Low 90s. Jason's got like a 70% crescent, or what you got down there?
What do I got? Let's see. I'm on the timeanddate.com.
Where's Tucson? This website's great. I never remember what Tucson is.
I'm at 77.46.
A C, a solid C.
Yeah, a C.
Yeah.
That's a C.
Yeah, you're passing. You've passed the annular eclipse. Skating by on that.
Yeah, I'm going to use it as a chance to try to take pictures with solar filters and learn how to do that before the total. But yeah. That's
a good call. Practice run, right?
A dry run. Damn.
Practice run. Yeah.
That's good.
Where does I'm looking up the other one now. Does that go closer to you, Jason? Oh, not quite.
Yeah, it's further. Gotta go to Texas.
Guys, I'm realizing that I just like totally forgot that I'm going away this weekend for a family thing, and I totally didn't realize I'm gonna be like north of 50%. Because I'm going south, so I'm at least halfway there. I'm not passing like Jason, but I'm not as much of a failure as I would have been if I stayed home. So I am traveling for the eclipse. So I've updated my answer to you, Jason. I am actually traveling for the eclipse. Yes.
Okay.
So right now, so this is great. Got to get my glasses back out.
I was so jazzed because I was like, oh man, do I have my eclipse glasses? Like I bought them in 2017 for the other one, and then I moved to Mexico. I'm like, did I bring them? And so I like went looking at them, and we had them like stuffed away in a plastic bag with like a little folder that was like, because we don't ever want to have to go through the shit show of trying to buy the eclipse glasses on Amazon 2 weeks before. Like we put them in a special place, and they made it here. They were like with all of our like important documents that we carried with us, like in a little folder. They were in there.
So the important documents folder is where you kept it? That's amazing.
Those are important.
One day someone will find your important documents and be like, is this like a invisible ink kind of thing? Like if I put these on, do I get access to the secret code on these documents? It's like a national treasure situation.
So I don't know. I'm glad I did though, because I did not want to go try and find them in Mexico. So
yeah, that would have been problematic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you expect it to be
so
pretty?
bad if I started looking like a so.
Do you think it's gonna be busy where you're going, Jake?
I don't know, because I booked a hotel 4 days ago. So
okay,
not,
so no, should be fine.
I mean, there's a lot of chatter about it, like on the local news and social media and stuff. Like they're talking about it and where all the visibility times are coming up everywhere and stuff. This is the only one the peninsula's going to get for like 70 years or something. Like it's a pretty rare thing. So yeah, we'll find out.
Are they going to do some Mayan shit for it? Like find the old Mayan rituals around eclipses and do some of that stuff?
Well, because there's a big site south of Merida called Uxmal that's in the path. And so it's like, everyone knows Chichen Itza. That's the big Mayan site, over on the other side. But the next best one, and actually I think is the best one, is Uxmal, and that's in the path. So I think there's going to be a whole big hullabaloo there for sure. I just don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I didn't want to risk that because they get real jammed for those. There's a site close to me that's like a little tiny Mayan site, and I always wanted to go there for the equinox because they lined up with the thing or whatever. But like every time I see photos, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go because there's just like 100,000 people there. So I don't want to do that. No. We'll find out. Yeah.
We're all pumped for the annular eclipse, obviously. We're just super pumped about this. Like,
I'm like literally just like staring. I gotta close this
enthusiasm is infectious through the radio waves here. Like we're just thrilled about annular eclipses. We're the Neil deGrasse Tyson of annular eclipses, apparently. Like do you remember his clip about lunar eclipses?
Not even special. Yeah. It's
boring.
Just like a moon that's just going on around every 28 days, whatever.
But wait, let's do a battle. Jason, if you had to pick, you could either see a lunar eclipse or an annular solar eclipse. Which one would you pick?
I think I'd have to pick the annular solar eclipse.
Yeah. Because Neil deGrasse Tyson is right that lunar eclipses are boring. He's totally right about this one take. They're super boring. They're so boring.
What, the moon becomes red?
Yeah, it happens if you go out at the right time at moonrise, Like, come on. I'm with him. Yeah. Pat's going to be really furious at this.
Let me ask you, how late, since you're a lunar eclipse hater, how late would you stay up to watch one? Say there's one happening and you're like, I don't know, maybe I'll go outside and look at it. What kind of 11 o'clock's the cutoff? Like,
yeah, I'm thinking 11 would be pushing it. I'm like,
11
I don't think it, I would have, like, if I've never seen one before, I'll stay up for it. I'll watch it one time, and then I'll go, you know what? Like, I'm good. I'm all right with that. That was fun. It was kind of interesting. Yeah. Actually, I think the annular phase of the lunar eclipse, or whatever the other phase are called, what's it, the penumbral stage or whatever, when it's not in totality, I think those are way more interesting than totality of a lunar eclipse.
Why is that?
Because it actually like obscures, right?
Yeah, you get a sense for like, oh, that's the curve of the Earth, and like that's how big the Earth is, and there's a little bit of. I think it's actually why totality of a solar eclipse is so crazy, is that you get like a completely different perspective on the solar system at that moment. Like that's the moment that stood out of watching totality from the 2017 one was like, all of a sudden you can see the corona and all the other planets that are up there that you couldn't see during daylight, and you feel like you're just looking at the solar system from the solar system, not that you're in daylight. And I feel like the totality of a lunar eclipse is like, okay, now it's a darker moon, but before that and after that, you get a perspective of the Earth and the moon that's interesting. So I'll stand for the penumbral stage of a lunar eclipse, but I'll go to bed before totality. So there you go. That's where I'm at.
Hot moon takes. Hot moon takes.
Hot moon takes.
Hot moon takes.
Yeah. What's the official stance of the Planetary Society on lunar eclipses?
I think the official stance is that they're great. So I could be, in big trouble for dissing lunar eclipses here. So I should be careful. Let me ask you this: what about meteor showers? You going outside at like, say, I don't know. You wander out at like 10 and go, I saw one. You ever stay up late for one? Really get a look?
I have not.
Did meteors?
I always struggle with those because they're so sparse. Like sometimes you go out and it's like you get one every minute or 2 minutes or something, and then it's kind of like it's like a little boring sometimes, like waiting, and then you finally see it, like, oh, it's cool, and then it's like gone, and then I don't know, it's tough. I struggle with those ones. If there was actually a meteor shower, like it was like I'd be all over that, but that's not what it is. Right? So.
What kind of scenario is this?
I don't know.
What?
That does happen. Well, maybe not that extreme. I don't know.
What's that scene from the new Star Wars show from Andor where they do that?
Are you so like in a scenario where is it the Japan Olympics that we're gonna do the what was that company that launched the satellite that was gonna do like something crazy in the opening ceremony?
The orbital fireworks,
yeah, like that. You're talking about that, like you're there for that, but regular meteor shower, yeah. Yeah, I've never. Well, so the only one that I've like went out at a certain time for was kind of a bonus because I was in Bryce Canyon National Park and I went out stargazing one night, and it was a new moon and a meteor shower. Oh, he's gone. He doesn't even like my story, Jake. It was a new moon and a meteor shower, and I'm at the national park, and so that was like a if I didn't do that, I mean it was the third thing I was interested in at that moment, or I guess second, because the new moon was not a thing to be interested in. It was gone. But it was a great night for stargazing, and it was a meteor shower, and I was in incredibly dark skies. So I was there for like that one. But, to Jake's point about how sparse they are, is it a thing where if you've never, friends that have never seen a meteor should go out for a meteor shower because they're likely to see one then? Whereas since I'm interested enough in space, I've spent enough time out at a telescope that I've seen them randomly, like just happened to catch one at the right time, and have seen some meteor showers. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I've casted a wide enough net already, so I'm not going to screw up my sleep today. Yeah, I guess we're just not motivated to stay up for stuff. So.
Well, and to add
we're
to
all
that,
old.
Once you've seen yeah, that too. Yeah. Once you've seen Dragon come home, though, nothing else compares to it. So
yeah, that's more relevant to your other scenario. Yeah.
Yeah, because when when they land in Florida, they come right over my house. Like I'm talking like I have to look straight up to see it. So wow, like this.
That's why you're into this whole, like, if there was a orbital fireworks thing, because that's very similar. That's that's like the point of it. Yeah. BSAR, is this what we're getting? Gator bait in the chat saying BSAR 8K video.
Orbital...
Is this what it is?
Yeah. Well,
I think it didn't work, right? Didn't the thing not work?
Yeah,
I don't remember this at all.
Let me see.
But yeah, no, they launched it, and then it was like supposed to re-enter over the Olympics, right? That was the idea.
I see.
Which is like an idea that could go really wrong hype-wise. Like that's a recipe for some real bad PR.
They should have
We're
just
moving
borrowed,
the opening
like,
ceremony back 1
singers.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, guys, this is what it was. Sorry, it was the 2020 Olympics. So COVID happened, and then the satellite was up there, and then I guess it didn't happen because it was delayed a year. Jake, your joke was right, but it was a year. It wasn't an hour.
My joke was too accurate.
And the satellite couldn't wait; it had to re-enter before then, or it was
Yeah, they're
time
like,
to
well,
re-enter
we
already.
didn't plan enough reserve for a full year, so
Yeah.
it went. That's
brutal.
called what we. That's
That's
what we call
brutal,
pulling a humanity star right there. Total fizzle. Like that's just, woof.
Humanities.
Jason, how late would you stay up for the humanity star?
What was this? What the hell is this? Reflective passive satellite designed to produce visible pulsing flares? Where was I? Why didn't I hear about this?
You missed out on the humanity star thing. You did not miss out on the humanity star thing. You were all over it.
Yeah,
when it was
you did
happening.
not. No way.
Yeah.
It was.
Was
a
I?
big,
I was right.
It was like, it was the genesis of the astronomer Starlink hate. It was like the first. It was like a trial run for that. It was like a rich guy put a thing in space that made a lot of light, and everyone was very upset about it for 4 days.
But it didn't. That's the best part. It didn't. It was like really like no one saw it, and it re-entered immediately. Like it was. It's not at all the effect that it was intended.
This was Rocket Lab did this. Okay.
Yeah.
Peter Beck. Yeah.
Peter Beck.
All right.
Yeah.
Peter Beck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so we've established that none of us are staying up for anything. I mean, thank God total solar eclipses
Anything
aren't
but
during
us.
nighttime
No.
because we would be screwed if so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank God that they are by definition during the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be hard. Yeah.
Jason,
Yeah.
what
The
else
solar
have you been
eclipse was
working
like
on?
at 3 a.m., yeah.
We haven't heard from you for so long. We're curious to hear what you've been working on, what we should know because you're retired from posting, and we need some Jason updates here.
Yeah.
I'm only retired
Yeah,
from
we need
posting
that.
on
Gotcha.
X. I mean, these days
Just laugh when we say the name.
X. Yeah. Well, I don't post on any other social media too, so I just really don't post. I do write, but I don't post. Yeah. No, I just I basically settled into a writing gig at the Planetary Society now, where I'm just kind of just writing content, just putting out that content. So nothing, no crazy projects, just Psyche. You want an article about what it's going to do? I got you covered. Write that. That's that kind of stuff. Yeah.
With the artist conceptions and these crazy spires that are coming out. Look at that. Like.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. With the wild,
That's the most
wild.
optimistic thing about it.
Yeah, look at those. I mean, if we really saw those, that would be freaking sweet. But you know, who
That would be
knows?
awesome. Yeah. Is that supposed to be like ejecta that froze after it melted? Is that basically what it is?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Metal-rich ejecta. So, I mean,
Seems
that would be
unlikely.
cool.
Seems unlikely.
It actually happens. Shut it down.
Doubt. I got to make a prediction about that.
How are we feeling about Psyche
Yeah.
generally right now? Because we're what, halfway into the launch window at this point, right? And
It's fine.
you think it's fine? Okay. I'm just checking. I want a
Yeah.
vibe check. Everyone's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Falcon Heavy spotless record will continue. Everyone's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything to worry about. People are a little freaked out about it, like being pushed back. You know, what they did like a week first, and then they did another day, and it's like only a 20-some day window. But I don't know. I think it's fine. That's why.
What about the reason that it was
Spend-
pushed
spend
back
the
a
time.
week? You know, needing to update thruster software. That seems like a thing maybe should have done a week before the week. Now I work in software, so I'm not criticizing anyone for pushing a patch that soon to production, because like I've done that, I've been there. But what do we know anything about this? Was this part of your what to expect, Jason? Warmer temperatures than anticipated.
Yeah. So the thrusters were running hotter than they had expected them to, and that's important because like there's lifetime limitations on how long you can run them at certain temperatures. So it was a problem with one of the vendors, the vendor of the thruster, the vendor of the software. I can't remember which now. So essentially the fix is they're not going to run the thrusters as hard. And that means they can't turn as fast, they can't point as fast, but in the grand scheme of things, it really won't impact the mission. You can put that on your page. It will not impact the mission. Because I think they've said that is a common one. Like what Lucy's solar panel didn't quite get out or something. They're like, it won't impact the mission. It won't, no impact.
The Juno main thruster, like we can still do it. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're nowhere close to the final orbit. But like,
was never in danger.
It's actually better because now let's see.
Now we get more of it.
Impact
longer time.
Yeah, I gotta search that for my spin-off.
Yeah, for the spin-off site.
I do need people to send me their ideas of what else the crew was never in danger for, because I'm sure we can find it. Google's probably not the best search engine for the crew was never in any danger, but my plan is to just keep this updated as frequently as the crew was never in any danger. I'm just going to post a new update. So I still got to go back, like the whole 2018 to 2021 period of Soyuz failures. I'm sure they didn't say it about Nick Hague and his in-flight abort, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was also said about that because the abort system worked, that they were never in danger. Like, totally wouldn't be shocked about that. But I need to put some of that stuff on here. So.
Yeah, and I forgot about that.
That was good. That was the good run of Soyuz. That was Soyuz MS-09 with a hole drilled in it, and Soyuz MS-10 with the faulty booster that got hammered in, and an in-flight abort triggered. Great year for Soyuz.
Good year for Soyuz.
Yeah.
I remember that morning. I didn't stay up for that launch.
For the theme of this show. All right, wait, that's a good one. Which launches would you stay up for?
Yeah.
For me, it's basically really important planetary ones. That's it. A moon launch.
I think the
Artemis
first launch of
2 and 3 I'd stay up for.
Yeah. One of those I watched on my phone in bed. Like I was ready to turn the light out and just like, come on, get to orbit already, hurry up. But it did. And I was like, all right, great, we're good. I think it was Artemis 1.
Artemis 1. You had a better time.
Yeah,
what time was that?
late.
That was like way late for us.
It wasn't as late for me,
Yeah,
but
it
it
was
was
like
bad
1
for East
for me.
Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like one mountain time or something like that, right? So, like, was it 3 Eastern, something like that?
It was late. It was super late. Yeah. They better not make that mistake with Artemis 2. Plan the launch windows better.
Yeah.
Come on. Jeez. That's gonna come up on us pretty hot. I'll tell you that. Like.
It is. Yeah, it is. Hopefully it does.
Hopefully, that would be awesome. That would be super cool.
Yeah, it would. If it's like within a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like every day I'm getting a notification from NASA, like, we shipped the tank, we shipped this, we shipped whatever. And I'm like, oh, really? Cool.
Jason's about to do another rocket road trip to check in on that, though. He's going to be like, have you really, though?
You show up at Stennis and they're like, it doesn't
Still
come
referencing
anymore.
the rocket road trip. I love it.
It doesn't come here. That was the last time. Yeah, we're past that part. It's like, but it should. You take a hard stand that they should have done another green run on this thing. Man.
More green runs.
Yeah. Jake, we're a year away from debating whether they should have done another wet dress rehearsal on Artemis 2 or not. That's like what we're a year away from right now.
Yeah, can't wait for that Eric Berger episode.
That's right. We should do predictions for next year when we do that part of like what SLS stories will be written that year, and just see which ones we get right. And then obviously the new one we'll do is the over/under lines on the crew is never in any danger. How many times that gets posted on the website? How many updates we'll have in each calendar year?
Oh man. Right.
Anyway,
we got a good lineup.
Yes, we do. We're running out of time, so we should talk about two things, Jake. The Discord.
Yes.
You do that part.
Discord.
That's
so if you want to support us, you should pop in and help us out on the Discord for as little as $5 a month, or at a baller level of $25 a month if you are the kind of person that doesn't fly rideshare. You can help us do what we do. And you get to join the Discord, which is a really fun place to be. And we have a whole new thing that we're trying with it. So every show now, there's a pre-game, pre-show. It's in the Discord only, so it's exclusive to Discord folks. And you can hang out with us as we get ready for the show, and we'll interact with you as much as we can, and get questions in and things like that. So
today it was exclusive to one person because we posted it very soon before we started it, and Ari was there.
Very little notice.
We did a Philadelphia area pronunciation quiz of Jake to see if he could pronounce our words. He didn't. He failed poorly. But it was very exclusive today. So yes, next week should be good.
So you should be a part of that.
And next week, I'm pretty pumped about this, Jason. We're doing a terrible sci-fi space movie review show with Stephen Hackett of Relay FM. They ran a... Actually, we should check in on this, Jake, because we were pretty high up this friggin' leaderboard here for the St. Jude fundraiser that Relay FM was running. We did a little sub-campaign on there, and we were... once again, I will mention... Of these people on the top list, we're sitting at number 4, over $5,000, and we're the only one of these people that wasn't like 99% funded by a single person. So that's great. Like all these other ones were like one guy who contributed $8,000, and there was one other guy who put $100 in his thing, and this other person had like $12,000 they put in their own. So I feel like we're the number one legitimate crowdsourced funding thing on there. So I will heckle Steven about that next week. But we're going to be reviewing some terrible movies.
I love you, the goalpost moving you're doing.
I'm doing this. Yeah, what is an astronaut, Like, come on. I'm doing the Carmen line. Where's the Carmen line? It's below those people that only had one donor to their thing. Jason, have you seen any of these movies? Ad Astra, Solar Crisis, Starflight. What's the subtitle of Starflight, Jake?
Starflight.
The plane that never stopped going or something. What is it?
The plane that couldn't land.
The plane that couldn't land, yeah. And you had another movie too, right, Jake? What was the other one that you had picked out?
Was it the Moonfall one?
Moonfall. Yeah. Have you seen any of these movies?
I feel like I've seen Moonfall, or maybe I just saw lots of previews for it, so it felt like I saw it. I can't remember.
You saw enough of it.
No, I don't think I've seen any of them.
Ad Astra? Yeah. Did not see Ad Astra? The Brad Pitt one? Is that Brad Pitt? I think
no.
It's Brad Pitt. Haven't watched that one yet.
Brad Pitt, yeah.
Wait, is that the one where he goes all the way to Neptune and it's somebody's dad or something?
I've heard it referred to as Dad Astra, and that's the one I'm watching this week. So yes, I assume that you're right on that. Yeah. Have you seen it?
Oh, did I just
somebody's
spoil
dad
or
or something?
No, I mean we included it because we feel like we should have seen it. So.
I think maybe I did see Ad Astra. Yes.
Forgettable,
yeah.
Clearly.
Yes. Tommy Lee Jones, that's who was in it. Yeah. I saw it in the theaters. Like I paid good
Tommy
money
Lee Jones is in it
for that terrible movie.
Oh.
Yes.
You won't stay up for a meteor shower, but you'll pay
actors.
money to go see Ad Astra.
Yeah. I think we went to one of those places, where you sit in the recliner and they bring you food and drinks. So, it wasn't a total loss.
You were paying for the experience, not just the content.
Yeah.
Well, that's next week. So that should be good. But
that's next week.
Jason, thank you so much for hanging out.
Awesome.
It's been way too long since we've chatted, and let's make it not another 2 years before we do again.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you for having me. Fun.
See ya.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.